By WCS, NA, and E, or EU and NA qualifiers once more.
Wow, you're actually gonna die.
I'm actually gonna die?
Yeah, can I call dibs on your stuff?
Why am I gonna die?
15 hours?
Ish,
After,
yeah.
like, oh, okay.
It depends how long the NA qualifier goes on for.
Right.
I'll put it this way, the NA qualifier... I'll put it this way, the NA qualifier
You're gonna
starts...
solo cast all of that.
The NA qualifier starts after 14 hours of being live. So it's probably more like 17, 18 hours.
Okay.
What do you want? What do you want the most? I'll sign it for you.
I would like to introduce this player up here in the top right-hand corner of the map, the yellow Zerg player. Wow, really?
I wasn't gonna give it.
It's the greens. It's the yellow Zerg player. It's Melia Aura Esports' PandaBearMe. God damn it.
Oh, you wanted one thing, and you know what? You said you wanted to take my things. I took your thing. That sounded.
You can't take the NA StarCraft scene away from me.
I can. I can just do that.
Unsubscribed.
Top left-hand side from Root. It is, of course, our Green Prowlers player currently living out in Korea. It is puCK. Neil open
gold base.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd be surprised if we didn't. Like, it's super standard right now in the PvZ.
It is. It's just so much easier to defend on gold base than it is the low ground expansion versus all sorts of Zerg aggression. Which, speak of Battle of the Boardwalk, I want to talk about a map that is very common for early Zerg aggression. This is the map right now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can attack very quickly through the top side, and it gets kind of weird because the Protoss likes to take that gold base because it's actually easier to defend than the low ground natural. So it puts you in a really weird spot overall. It's just a strange one, honestly. It's a real strange spot to kind of play from here, as you do see. This Adept is going to be shading on over towards the right-hand side. puCK with a Stargate coming down. We've seen this a few times today. Let me tell you. I mean, it really is just the standard safe way to set up with an Oracle or so initially, or Phoenix. Again, there's a few different ways players like to do it. And puCK was playing Phoenix early on Abyssal Reef when we saw one of these games between these guys before, so possible we see something like that again, but nope, just an Oracle for now. Look at PandaBearMe, Baneling Nest, Evo Chambers, Zerglings on the way. You called it. It's aggression.
Alright.
Scouted aggression.
Oh, yeah, the Adept saw the third base, it sees the Baneling Nest, it sees a Spore Crawler that was being... Okay, sorry, that was actually just to avoid losing the turn. I was like, wait a second.
Oh, he didn't see the Bane Nest, he actually saw the Evo. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the same. I thought that was the Bane Nest up there, but it's actually the Evolution Chamber. Well, that's kind of interesting, because now the Bane Bus is a very different way of... This is really... He actually starts 3 more gates to the south side. He starts a Phoenix.
Oh, this is... Oh, I really like that. I really like the Overlord drop. Just because when you take the gold base on this map, it is so difficult to defend both bases at the same time. You really are trying to just buy time to get to the correct base to defend. But now, it's really easy for PandaBearMe to just dart between the two.
Dude, he's going to lose the warp gate research. It's going to get cancelled by these Banes blowing up the pylons.
Oh my god.
Oh no, puCK. puCK's in a little bit of trouble right now. The Lings did get shut down to the bottom left-hand side, but now there's still Banelings up to the top side. I mean, if Phoenix chasing down an Overlord is great and all, but Probes are already taking some shots, and I mean, more Lings, I guess, will not be able to get in very easily because the pylon starts to build.
He's not even mining at the goal. Okay, he's finally sending his workers back to mining as the aggression starts to calm down a little bit. Pylon is going to be able to finish up once again. He's going to have a full wall up over here, and Warp Gate will finish up so you can utilize those 3 gateways on the south side of the map.
That shield battery on the gold base is actually very low on energy, so honestly, these Lings coming back in once more could have a pretty good time against this. This time, puCK does now finish Warp Gate, so he's going to be able to warp in units, which obviously goes a long way compared to what we had previously. There's a sentry here now as well, but these Lings are actually just fighting against the gateway, which took so much damage from the previous Banes. And now we are going to be seeing the... oh my god, the force field misses! And the Banes are in here, blowing up on like a Adept and a sentry to help out. He's going to kill the pylon once again. I mean, this Bane or two into the mineral line is going to splash on a couple of probes. I mean, even just leaving the Lings alive to hit the other workers. Works out for now as PandaBearMe still streaming Lings, and now it's very difficult to finish this wall off here at the front. Probes in the gold base are gone as well, by the way.
Yeah, he lost a lot of them to the aggression. Actually, all of them to the aggression from the Ling drop. And now he's pulling off all of his remaining workers just to try and deal with these Lings over in his main base. He's got a pylon wall and coming up. He's going to be able to plant down the second pylon. But just not a whole lot he can actually do to prevent these Lings from just killing the pylons.
Oh my god, the pylon on the bottom right-hand side. The Adept is warping in to try and save it, but will it save it in time? It's not going to happen. And that's all of these gates and power. There's not even a worker nearby to help out with it. And that's the issue at the moment. I mean, there is a center of energy again in a moment, but this time he really has to hit the force field.
I don't even know what force field he hit.
Oh, well, not if you lose the
sentry.
sentry. Oh, wow. puCK's not having a great time against this aggression. GG's, and PandaBearMe does take game number 1. To the bottom right-hand side, he is the player. From Meliora, PandaBearMe up 1-0 in the series.
And he's up against this guy up here on the top left, the green Protoss player. Not going to give up hope just yet. It's Root Gaming's puCK.
Let's see what he can do. This is an elimination match right now, guys. The loser of this is out of the competition. And the top 8 does play tomorrow. Starts at the same time as today's group stages did. Make sure you tune in for that. Should be great. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah. puCK is a sort of interesting character because I think that oftentimes when I think of like puCK games, he's one of the guys that I think when he gets ahead, you'll oftentimes see him lose the leads. When he's behind, you'll oftentimes see him come back from a big deficit. He's a player that I think plays... It's so weird when you see these kind of players, like players that play better from behind than they do ahead. But puCK is absolutely one of them, and I think it's because he plays a very macro-oriented style that involves a lot of light aggression or light pressure from like a small set of units, like an Oracle or a Warp Prism with 2 Archons, things like that.
puCK's just got some crazy micro sometimes as well.
Yeah.
Which obviously goes a long way to helping out. His stream's been pretty fun the last few days as he's been streaming from Korea. He's been doing pretty well, but needs to translate that into tournament results. Otherwise, what's it good for, you know? Straight up and honestly.
Yeah, it's I think something that's always a little bit frustrating because I know that puCK has gotten frustrated about it in the past, especially where he says things like, I'm playing so well in practice, but in the actual tournaments itself, it's like a different person shows up. I think that's always been one of the struggles for puCK. He's been one of those players that does very well in practice and not as well in tournaments. Even when he wins, he's actually oftentimes somewhat upset with himself because he's like, I'm not playing how I should be right now. This is like not my top level play, and I can't channel that properly. So I think puCK has actually made a lot of huge strides in playing a lot better or something a lot closer to his normal play in practice. It's still not 100% consistent though.
First Adept arrives across the map. He's going to Stargate once again. Third hatch coming up from PandaBearMe, who is this game at 26 workers and looking as though he's going to keep on making drones.
Gets the drone kill. Very nice. Keeps the Adept very much alive as well.
Very much alive. To the point where it's not dead, even.
Yeah, and kind of funny enough, where is the Overlord that would normally scout out the Stargate from puCK?
I guess it's just on his way
okay.
across the map. All right, the first one's here, the second one's moving in, so
yeah.
It's just getting there.
Okay, so he will scout out the Oracle. I was gonna say, because he doesn't have any Spore Callers started up just yet. He's so focused on this Adept harassment. Okay, and there is going to be that first Spore Caller being thrown down at the third. I imagine a Spore Caller coming up in the main base shortly thereafter as the Oracle makes its way across the map and might be able to find some damage in the main base. Or the natural if PandaBearMe isn't quick to get some defenses there.
Yeah, Oracle going to come on over and has obviously the choice between the third and the natural right away. We'll just go towards the third since the Spawn the Queen decides not to commit to that just for now. Going back in towards the natural, but not going to be fully committing just yet. Wants to decide what to do. I mean, the natural was the later base to come up, by the way, which is why it has that saturation. It's got blocked there earlier on, so kind of took the bases the wrong way around, but obviously that doesn't have too much of an impact. Gets a lava kill, but that really is it for now.
Yeah, one of these days, I've thought about this so much. Like, one of these days is going to be some sick Oracle play where you come in with 3 oracles and you kill all of their larva, and it hits some really crazy cool timing where it blocks the Zerg player at the exact right moment. You come in with a bunch of adepts or something. But tis not this day.
Not today.
Not today.
That will finish momentarily from PandaBearMe. We'll throw down an Evo, so already looking towards upgrades tells us a little bit about just how aggressive or how much he commits to the Lingbane Hydra, which is more or less what we're expecting. I'd be very surprised if he threw down like a Spire right away here. There is indeed that Hydra's then dropping, so not going to be like super hyper aggressive, but obviously you can still cut workers with a +1 or so. You don't have to just macro because you're getting upgrades. You can just power up a certain timing as well, so a couple of possibilities still.
Well, finding 2 worker kills, not too bad. But yeah, the robotics bay, I am definitely interested to see what's going on here, because yes, I can't say that disruptors are exactly super liked right now, and especially a lot of people really don't like making them right now, just because of that 1-second startup delay. But that or Colossus, either one, I'm actually really excited to see from puCK. Most likely Colossus, but every time I see a robotics, I have to add in that little hope. Yeah, that's not going to be disruptors.
One day your hope will be broken to the point where you just don't mention it. I just had a little bit of a lag spike. One day your hope will be broken, you just won't mention it, and the next thing you know, there'll be like 5 disruptors in the field, and you'll be like, no, I should have said it again.
Oh no, for me it's not about the recognition of calling it, it's about just getting to see the disruptors. God, even though I think the disruptors are actually like, they're really not in a good place right now. That's like a personal opinion thing, not even like a balance thing, just like they don't feel very fun. I love watching disruptors. I think that they're such a cool and fun unit to watch in games.
Fast Lurker coming in pretty much from PandaBearMe here, so we'll be able to get aggressive with those Lurkers very quickly. By the way, these Oracles, 6 kills on one, 6 kills on the other. For a moment, I was sure the other one said something different for a moment, so it's my bad. That's why I went quiet. I was like, wait, did I misclick it twice, 3 times? No, I actually really don't have 6 kills.
They are actually just twins, but that is like a very typical puCK thing. Like, he is very good at just controlling, like I was saying, small groups of units for harassment. That has been his playstyle for like 3, 4, almost, I won't say 5 years, because he used to be, 5 years ago he was a 2-base all-ending player almost every game, but 4 years ago he was one of those players that would play that macro-oriented game with a bit of harassment units and follows up into a very oddly structured push.
Yeah, this is a very risky push. He needs to be careful because one false move and he loses the Colossus, and well, who knows what happens from there. Already been 1 tech unit down. Just be a little bit cautious. The other thing is, though, honestly, PandaBearMe could start wolfing in Lurkers and just get aggressive. He cancels the Lurkers here and will morph them further back on the Hydras that aren't revelated. I mean, even if you just get into position on the 3rd or 4th base with 3 or 4 Lurkers, just at this stage of the game, that's so very powerful. Like, Charge isn't ready, for example. There isn't anything to really help deal with it.
Yeah, Colossus are those units that you would think would be great versus Lurkers. They're the big siege units. No, they don't outrange the Lurkers, and they just end up taking a lot of damage.
Micro quite well against Lurkers. Oh, those force fields coming down. That's just going to stop PandaBearMe a little bit from kind of getting in the position he wants to. So that's nice from puCK already.
Is he attacking? Is he attacking his own? He killed his own Lurker.
Oh no. That's not good. That's not meant to happen. Poor Lurker.
Feels bad, man.
I wonder if he's just trying to, like, I guess burrow it or something, or like he was pressing. I don't know. I don't really have a. Maybe
oh god, this is a really bad spot for puCK right now. He's getting fully surrounded. The Colossus can escape, but everything else is gonna die.
This is absolutely crazy. Suddenly PandaBearMe picks up on an opportunity, and I mean, we said it just before, like, one wrong move and being out on the map like this can be very painful, and that was still apparent right there. One wrong move and suddenly he gets punished. His entire army drops apart from the Colossi. I mean, the Colossi are something which can indeed still kind of save the day, but man, it's going to be so much more difficult now. Hydra's already working their way through the Cyber Core up here. 2 more Colossi building, by the way. I'd love to just see a Spire coming in from PandaBearMe, because with this number of Colossi, I think Corruptors almost are a necessity.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate for puCK as well, because 4 Colossus is the magic number in PvZ, where suddenly you are actually taking on, like this. You can see how much damage he's doing, and even the 5th and 6th Colossus, which are derping out, admittedly, but they're still able to get a lot of damage done over here. If he had actually kept alive that ground army, I think he would actually be in a really nice spot now, but it's so much dicier.
Oh my god, plus 2 Hydras on this 4th base right here. Oh, they are going to start getting shut down by a few Zealots, but actually the 4th base is still going to be under fire. 2 more Hydras join the fray. Colossi on the way over. Do they kill these Hydras in time? They'll start to. They're not even target firing the hatch. The Nexus. It's small mistake. Because they probably, actually, I think the Hydras were target firing though. They probably get the kill. Like, it's super low.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
More Hydras need to be careful. Those Colossi will. Ooh. Again, this is the point where I feel like PandaBearMe should just be looking for the transition. Like, throw down the Spire. He's had lots of time to do it, but he looks to try and still make this work on just pure kind of Hydras.
Archon getting picked off is definitely painful, but man, the Colossus count has just gotten so ridiculous at this point. I mean, the 5 Colossus, I guess it's only 5 Colossus. He has pretty much halted additional production, but it's still just been so effective at shredding the Hydras and the Lurkers. I was saying Colossus not great at dealing with Lurkers, but I guess when you control like puCK, it's actually not too bad.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of micro and like dancing in and out of the Lurker shots, but it definitely is possible to make it work out to some extent. Three more Lurkers coming on in here for PandaBearMe, and we are going to be seeing him still just on Hydra Lurker. I just gotta say, man, like, he really should have been into at least a Spire. Like, I guess some players don't like to play the Spire, but you gotta, like, at some point give credit where credit's due, and 5 Colossi is 5 Colossi, right? Like,
yeah.
What do you... I just don't understand what PandaBearMe thinks he can do as a way to fight this at the moment.
It's a rough one. I guess there's a bit of a wing run by over in the main base. Able to it's close to killing off one of the I won't say super important pylons. It was powering the Forge, the Gateway, and this Twilight Council that's researching Blink, which I also really like that he's actually getting a Blink. That's that one additional little move if you end up facing it off against like a big surprise. There's mutas or something like that. It's like, it can buy some nice time and stuff. But oh man, this is definitely becoming a very strong army for puCK.
Well, PandaBearMe just have the Hive now on the way up, so I guess he'll get access towards what I imagine will just be Vipers initially. I guess he'll just play like Viper Hydra Lurker. Oh man, this gap in the wall that was created by the Hydras earlier in the game. Just Lings keep on streaming in, although that said, 2 cannons and shield battery means they're probably not going to do very much there. Hydra's going to run by towards the third nexus at the same time. puCK's army is out across the map actually. He's actually going to start getting ready to attack on. There's so many Lurkers, but a few of them were unburrowed. And this Colossi going to start putting in the work, but right now the Lurkers just do so much.
Yeah, when the Hydras, I mean, they can buy even just a little bit of space. The Lurkers just tear through that kind of Protoss army. The Lings and the Mavens finally do get cleaned up, but the Hydras over with the third, still getting some serious work done.
Third base of Circulator goes down, however, because Zealots are running on by. This will get cleaned up, but it is a hatchery that falls. Can these Hydras reciprocate the damage on this side of the map? Seems like the answer to that is probably no. Don't manage to get those high tempo morphing either, but he will get a few probes. Both players taking heavy hits. I just wonder if you get into a position on this 4th base with the Lurkers, is there a way for puCK to fight it? I mean, we saw some dancing with Colossus before, but the Lurker count's getting scarier. And Digging Claws is coming in as well, so you can burrow right on top of these Colossi a lot more easily. Oh, this fight starts up very early, and those Lurkers are in range, and they are fighting, but those Hydras are melting, and oh my god. puCK is going to clean up so much here.
Yeah, more Lurkers trying to be morphed in. One Colossus working away at some of them, killing off one Lurker before it finishes, but the rest of them finish and are going to be able to clean up that one remaining Colossus. puCK going on the other side of the map for the big counterattack. Can these 5 Lurkers that PandaBearMe has on his opponent's side of the map get some damage on maybe to that 4th?
Oh, they're going to come back home. He realizes he needs to do something in terms of actually being able to fight this army. Right now, I think his best chance might be to kill observers and then to just fill with the lurks on top of it, but he actually doesn't get a chance to because the Zealots ambush the Hydralisks.
No.
Alright, GG's. puCK takes game 2 and ties us up 1. I mean, I'm not as maybe kind of what's the word? Acquainted to digging claws. Sorry, the lurker upgrade. I'm not as acquainted to like digging claws and the use of it as I am to maybe obviously kind of counters such as vipers or corruptors, but I just don't see how it helps when you're already not trading well against it.
Yeah, digging claws is that upgrade that I think it can work out really well in PvZ if you have enough of a rest of the army to buffer. But if it's like if you just basically have some lurkers and you have a few hydras, like digging claws is not going to help you very much at all.
To bottom right hand side of Odyssey, final map of the night. It's our yellow Zerg player PandaBearMe.
And his opponent up here on the top left-hand corner of the map, tied up 1-1. Give it up for Root Gaming's puCK.
Alright then, guys, this is it. One of these players goes to the round of the 8, the other will not.
Definitely going to be a tough loss for either one of them, because I know the puCK has been putting in a lot more time. Obviously, literally going and training in Korea. It's a big investment for him into StarCraft. And then same thing for PandaBearMe. He's been putting so much time into StarCraft for a while, and I think he's still been searching for a kind of proving result. Like, he's coming so close to breaking out, I think, as a big player name, but hasn't quite actually, I think, done it for a lot of people. Outside of like this OSC events and stuff that he participates in. And of course the really awesome qualification for the Olympics like pregame stuff, but I really think he's looking for a big win on this WCS circuit.
See if he can find it, as you do see. puCK patrolling away with a probe on the third base, just watching for that coming down already. I mean, honestly, I don't blame him for watching for the third hatch, because there's been multiple games so far from PandaBearMe that has just been 2 bases.
Yeah, that is one lesson I have learned is never assume the third hatchery.
Yeah, never assume the third hatchery. It's a good, it's actually a good little catchphrase for Protoss players, I think. Never assume the third base.
Especially if you're in Diamond League, man. You never assume the third hatchery. Holy cow. I feel like 40% of my games with Zerg players just like Roach Ravager all hunting me.
Well, guess what, Fair Dragon?
DT has beat Roach Ravager all-ins? Oh. Yeah, Stargate, yay!
Hey, Stargate comes in. Stargate finishes up, Oracle starts. I mean, we've seen this one quite a few times here today. Not much more to really talk about on it. One of those builds that we're just seeing time and time again as just the opener, basically, to then later transitions. So, see what the plot is maybe as we go by. 27 lings, and now we've seen a Evo chamber. Sorry, 27 drones, and now we've seen an Evo chamber come down.
Wait a second.
Yeah, sorry, 27 drones and an Evo chamber coming down, but still droning. Looks as though he is just intended to take an upgrade here, PandaBearMe, and not really looking to be aggressive with drops or anything. Nice round.
All right. Yeah, the Adept manages to get out of there just barely in the nick of time, and the Oracle gonna make its way across the map. I don't believe there's any. Okay, there's a sport ball going up in the main base. And PandaBearMe, like I said, he's a guy who really likes cutting corners. He is going to go for this Overlord drop, but it's also worth noting, still no Spore Caller in that natural, so Oracle has an opportunity to get some damage done.
Yeah, Oracle trying to come in, but there is a couple of Queens, and they were pretty on top again towards the Oracle right away. Actually, I kind of like these little ling drops that are kind of super committed, but it just forces some units out of the Pro. It just forces, you know, potential damage. Maybe it pulls the Oracle back a lot of the time. Right now, there's actually not really anything to deal with this at all in the main, and already 2 workers go down almost instantly. puCK is taking some real damage. He goes for the full surround, but, you know, during the full surround with no shield battery, you lose a lot of probes. puCK.
Who's trapped in there with who? Oh.
Yeah, I mean, the lings are, like, trapped, right? But they can go down fighting. 8 workers killed for PandaBearMe. 4 workers killed by puCK.
Just drops in 1 more ling. I like that. That's very cute. Nice little scout. It's actually going to be perfectly timed to see the additional gateways being thrown down, the Templar archives, and also, well, yes, you can throw down the gateways and the Templar archives before you go for the third. after losing so many workers and even so much mining time, it's gonna be really rough for puCK to try and take a third after going for all these gateways in the Temple Archives. Like, it's just gonna be difficult. It's gonna set them a bit behind.
It's gonna be the Archons out of the Templar Archives, of course. For now, going to be getting that Prism to warp in the 4 High Templar. We'll be getting those set up momentarily. So puCK just getting those ready, and we'll start morph the Archons into Hydrogen already right now from PandaBearMe. He's just making some more lings to get ready to do with this first little push forward with the Prism.
Alright. Oh man, PandaBearMe being so annoying with the Overlord, actually dropping some creep down by that potential 3rd location.
So low health, this Overlord as well.
Yeah.
So annoying.
The Phoenix has to come all the way back home to kind of clean it up, because it basically is only anti-air right now.
PandaBearMe actually has a lot of money to build Hydras with, and he doesn't have any upgrades despite the Evo Chamber, so it actually looks as though he wants to play quite aggressively here. He is going to start losing Queens, though. These Zealots and Archons in the main are starting to do quite a bit of damage.
This is not how this was supposed to go, Wardy, but puCK is going to be pretty happy with how it's going.
Yeah, he's not going to be complaining. It's going very well for him. I mean, now these drones are being chased away. I mean, the Warp Prism has to be careful because the Warp Prism is super low to the point where he will start to lose Archons. He may not even be able to get back in to save this other Archon unless the Archon starts to take a leap to the left-hand side already. No charge, by the way, makes it such a funny kind of occurrence for Zealots to just slowly chase Hydras, but to never ever catch them.
Yeah. At least
he's gonna get killed.
He
gets kills even though he doesn't have charge.
Yeah. You gotta stop and turn around to fight at some point, man. You can't just run away from your problems.
This Warp Prism can.
That is true. This Warp Prism can, but it certainly has some battle scars, sitting with 5 hit points left over after all the damage took from those fiends. But overall, that was like a pretty substantial amount of damage. I would say whatever kind of massive damage that puCK took in the early game, it's kind of been bounced back mostly from, but the 3rd is still, like this is what I was talking about before. It's difficult to get a well-timed 3rd after you took that much damage. So I would say that most of this game is like kind of evened out. I still actually, well, I guess puCK has his Colossus starting out. This isn't too bad for him.
Yeah, I think as long as you get up to like 2 Colossi and micro them well, these pushes that PandaBearMe is about to commit into is not really going to be that deadly. I mean, we're going to be talking about 54 workers. He's only just now starting to miss that upgrade. Wow. It's very late because it's definitely been him deciding to commit into, I think, aggression here. Now he's sort of realizing that he's taking some damage and stuff like that. I think he's realizing, oh god, like maybe I need to try and have a follow-up here. So he throws down missile upgrade, he throws down extra drones. But now he's kind of wishy-washy, right? Now he's not throwing everything into this attack, and so you know, he's not throwing everything into the attack, but he never threw everything into eco, so where does it actually leave him? Like, just leaves him kind of in not a great position as force fields are available. He drops a couple that just missed the kind of marker, honestly. You can see a couple of links in the middle of the line getting cleaned up as well. Looking very good right now, honestly. I mean, again, extra Colossi coming up, and against just kind of a Ling Hydra army, Colossi do pretty well, man.
Yeah, you know, I got that sense on Abyssal Reef that, they can do pretty well versus a primarily Hydra-based composition.
They can do okay. They kill things sometimes.
Occasionally, they're able to clean up an entire army very one-sidedly. PandaBearMe in not quite the same situation as the last game, though. And I feel as though there's still an opportunity to make some stuff happen. Ooh, this is an interesting one. Going for 4 drop Overlords. And you were talking about like Corruptors and stuff, and there's not a whole lot to combat it. Dropping a bunch of Hydras on top of your opponent's Colossus, kind of an interesting way to potentially negate damage.
You think he's gonna try and drop them on top, or you just think he's gonna...
No, I think he's gonna probably just try and drop them in the main base, but I'm throwing out ideas right now. Oh,
yeah.
Is this a fake out?
Well, maybe he doesn't want to lift the Hydras up just yet, perhaps. Anyways, we're gonna see this attack on the gold base, and PandaBearMe is just straight up not in position to deal with this.
Yeah, he had some Hydra's position in the main base, and he sniped off the Warp Prism, which is nice, but losing the gold definitely hurts. We'll see if we can do some counter damage with these Hydras, as recall happens on a majority of the units outside of the Zealots, though.
Actually, gonna see the Robo Facility gets taken down very quickly here. I mean, those Hydras do have +1 now, but force fields. I mean, okay, I'd use a Robo to kill 8 Hydras, you know. I'm fine with that, honestly. Yeah, this is, again, just puff all over, right? And currently Zells are charging around, picking off Hydras towards the gold base. I mean, PandaBearMe just continues to seemingly fall apart to some extent as more Hydras being chased over to the left. Those drop lords never come into play, so it's just wasting resources. puCK just continues to clean them up.
Yeah, puCK is definitely starting to seize more than just a little bit of control of this game. And the pacing of it, PandaBearMe is struggling. He's looking around, trying to find some sort of weakness in puCK's armor, but puCK has just looked pretty solid, man. And he's also been able to get on the aggressive during all of this. That's actually the best part about puCK's situation, is that he is not just defending really well, he's finding weaknesses in his opponent's armor.
More Archons starting to morph on in here from puCK, and he really is just in this position where his army is looking so awesome, and I guess PandaBearMe has the lurkers out now. Actually, I guess puCK's army is kind of unupgraded, like he's missing the +2 attack when I say that. He starts it up. But still, kind of usually you'd expect the pros player to be having that much faster here in this game.
Yeah, I guess it's been a little bit of a weird game because he was facing off against the kind of early aggression, so maybe he was a little bit more hesitant about doing that. His early game start was sort of messed with, but now, yeah, I totally agree. There's no reason why not to really focus in on those upgrades, chrono boost those babies out, get out that blink upgrade, and really situate yourself for later. But oh man, if you can find these Hydras and lurkers in open territory, this is the dream.
Well, that's exactly what he's finding at the moment. He's just the lurkers trying to run around the corner, trying to get away. You actually see a lot of Hydras from the top side. Counter-attack though from PandaBearMe. He's also got Lings going in towards the third base as well. It's actually going to be a recall over there with, I'm not even sure what's recalling. It's going to be a bunch of Archons. Wow, okay, that's kind of cool, I guess.
This is a really good split up from puCK. I actually really like this.
Seems to be careful with those Archons on their own. I mean, against the Lings, they're fine. I don't think the Hydras will chase too far, but obviously does not want to run in towards the lurkers. And where the lurkers are still just gives puCK the chance to maybe move around them or to work his way towards them to fight them if he wants to. But now they have to start to move away again, though.
Really, really nicely done, though, because the Archons can hold an angle by themselves. They can buy time. They won't necessarily win a big fight, but they are solid, durable units. And the rest of the army can come in from the other side and kind of flank the lurkers if need be. Oh man, even coming in with another Zealot run by to the top right. Might be able to snipe off this base. PandaBearMe has to react, and guess what's going to happen while he's reacting? puCK is just going to push in.
Touch is going to go down, and honestly, he'll lose a few Zerglings as well as he goes. We're going to be seeing, well, for now, the Lurkers will hold this position. A Revelation or two needs to come down so you can have the vision of the Lurkers, and he needs to fight them. Oh, he's actually going to fight a few Lurkers. There's a lot of Lurkers, though. It's still not easy to fight into, and that's what PandaBearMe is currently pretty reliant on.
Yeah, and puCK is he's thrown up the Dark Shrine a little while ago so that he can have a supply-efficient way of harassing and continuing that harassment. But the double Stargates, the Fleet Beacon are going to be the big follow-ups. That is his answer to the massive number of lurkers that exist and kind of getting into that ultra late game. So I think all he needs to do is continue to try and deny new expansions and just keep PandaBearMe at home. Keep him on the defensive.
4 Stargates from puCK, though. Well, I mean, okay, I can see PandaBearMe's later game plan, but I feel as though he's going to have to start getting a lot more of it a lot sooner than he currently plans to, because 4 Stargates coming up, that means 5 in total. It's going to be a lot of kind of big air units coming in from puCK very quickly. PandaBearMe takes the dive to try and get a couple close, so he gets them low, to be fair.
Yeah. Doesn't want to just let his lurkers kind of get whittled away at for free, but this is still a very difficult situation to make work. Getting that lurker upgrade, as you saw over there, the lurkers trying to back up right now, trying to reburrow. I actually think that lurker upgrade would be really useful right now.
Yeah, get a full surround. Get a full surround, just burrow them on like immediately on top. It's very possible that he goes for it.
Yeah, I don't actually think I would like that. I think just playing defensively may be okay. But I agree. Like, dealing with the late game Protoss army is very, very difficult. Like, the ultra late game, when there's Archons, there's carriers, there's even a Tempest that started up for a second.
I mean, it's just when PandaBearMe just only has 63 drones, just doesn't have the eco to build into an anti-Skytoss army, especially when he's still building units on the ground to survive. I mean, here comes a couple of Brutals, and that might really help to push puCK away, I suppose. PandaBearMe.
But for how long?
Yeah, for how long? PandaBearMe's been really good, by the way, at actually kind of counter-attacking, but he's stopped doing that in the last few moments. And I wouldn't mind to see a big counter-attack now, you know, when there isn't really anything at home at all. Force a recall, give you some breathing room.
I think he just doesn't have the unit composition for it anymore. Like, the Hydras maybe, but he needs at least, like, 20 Hydras is just enough to, like, probably push back this army from getting on top of his lurkers. Outside of that, he's got a lot of lurkers, man. It's 19 lurkers. Oh, okay. Ooh, this is a really nice fight over here for PandaBearMe.
That's really good, and those lurkers are going to keep on chasing, by the way. I mean, carriers on the way up, but there isn't tons of them just yet, so it's very possible, if enough Hydras make it across the map, that we could see him maybe actually fighting against those carriers. Like, it's a possibility here. PandaBearMe keeps on pushing across. Corruptors are chasing down Colossi as well. Oh, what's left on the map right now? 8 Hydras? No, there's only 2 carriers, though. And the 8 Hydras is nice. He needs these extra Corruptors, 9 of them on the way. By the time these arrive, though, it's going to take forever.
He has 4 observers out on the map right now, but I don't see the Oracle anymore. So, oh man, that does make it a little bit more complicated to deal with these lurkers. But yeah, the mothership is now out. This is where actually things get really complicated for PandaBearMe until he gets the protection over here. Which, I don't even see him making an overseer right now. Wardy, he doesn't have any overseers on the map. He needs one.
Oh man, these Tempests are just chunking away at everything that PandaBearMe has, and the Broodlords are going to sit over here and kind of keep on fighting, but to what avail, right? I mean, they're just going to go down, I guess, because he knows he's not going to get away with them if he tries to run away, right? So PandaBearMe pulls back. I mean, he keeps some of his lurkers alive. He has a few Corruptors still kind of gathering together, but he really needs still so much more here to make this work. Catches a Prism to the top side, at least.
The DTs are going to walk their way over to that gold base once again, which has really not gotten very much mining. Despite it being taken like 3-4 times, it may very well just end up dying once again, kind of one-sidedly, as puCK pushes with the big air army to the south side, going for the 1-2 punch on opposite angles.
I did start to do a little bit more, but again, just a warping themselves just slows them down so much. With a little bit of kind of cannon support, it's going to be plenty enough to get rid of them.
The gold base of puCK right now, the double lurker is actually catching quite a few workers over there.
puCK as well, though, is just already finding another base of PandaBearMe, and you mentioned it, the DTs get rid of the gold. So suddenly PandaBearMe is just down to 4 bases all over again and is struggling to get beyond this. He might still struggle with this army pushing forwards.
Yeah, this is the most important base for PandaBearMe in this game right now. He cannot afford to lose it. If he loses this, like, the game very well may end up being forfeit, but so he has to defend, but the lurkers are just getting shredded by these carriers. The Hydras can't contest this. There's sure some lurker damage happening over by puCK's gold, but is that really enough to equalize this damage that's happening at PandaBearMe's floor?
No, definitely not, because PandaBearMe is just starting to lose his entire army. He does not have what he needs to fight against these air units. You see the Tempests are still just chunking their way through Corruptor after Corruptor, and well, right now the Lurker's going to unburrow as well. This Hatchery's going to go down too, and now it's a 3-base PandaBearMe. 3-base, which is pretty much mined out, by the way. 4 patches just about around on the third. 2 patches on the natural, 2 patches on the main. I guess he could saturate. It's really not enough economy, though, to stay in this at all right here. Lurker's going to burrow up on the high ground.
Holding on to dear life is the way I would describe PandaBearMe. As again, it's 1-1. This is the elimination match. Winner moves on to day 3, and loser gets knocked out and has to wait until the next WCS qualifiers to try and make it work. Of course, you can still try and go to Leipzig in person or something and just go through the open bracket, but very expensive proposition for the North American players.
Yeah, it's actually for North American players, the challenger for European events obviously much more important, because it's not like it's super easy. Like for the EU players, like, oh, you don't get to qualify Leipzig, okay, you have to go for the open bracket, that sucks, but hey, it's not that bad to get there. But for American players, obviously, this really is for most of them going to be make or break. I mean, only really players like Scarlet and Neve, for the most part, are kind of the players who would kind of go even if they don't qualify. Maybe a couple of others, but that's going to be GG. puCK takes game number 3, and he does get revenge on PandaBearMe, who did take